Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you a classic. It's an Italian butter cookie, but I feel like it's a little different than your standard sort of sugar cookie, and it is just divine. It has a couple of like, I wouldn't say weird ingredients, just not ingredients I guess you would normally find in a sugar cookie. But these are the Italian butter cookies that I grew up eating, and let me tell you something. It took an arm and a leg to get the recipe from my Nonna because, as you all know, she's the best cook in the world, but she doesn't measure. So she goes, oh, I'll just eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and this is what you got. So to make them, you'll need a handful of really basic ingredients, but they're special. Starting with some cake flour. Cake flour is essential in this recipe. I also have some salt, confectioner's sugar, unsalted butter and vegetable shortening that's been softened to room temperature, an egg, vanillina, or you could use vanilla extract, and then I have some Italian confetti. You could use sprinkles, you could use nothing, it's completely up to you. I make them this way with sprinkles, or I make them black and white with ganache and white chocolate, which I can share with you in a different recipe, but I wanted to kind of make them basic for you today just to kind of get them done. You want to get your oven preheated to 375, get a baking sheet and line it with parchment, which is I've done here. Now, a sweet subscriber of mine a while back sent me parchment paper that was already cut out. So now it looks so perfect. I can't believe it. I'm just excited. Another thing you want to do is get a piping bag, or I'm using today just a large Ziploc bag, and fit it with a star tip, large star tip, because we're going to need that to form our cookies. And that's basically about it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take my cake flour and salt. Now the mixture between the cake flour, the confectioner's sugar, and the vegetable shortening, which traditionally, you might not like to hear this, but traditionally when I was a kid, my Nonna always used lard instead of the vegetable shortening. I don't use lard, I use vegetable shortening instead, but you could certainly use that if you wanted to. I'm adding a little bit of vanillina to this. I am cutting the recipe in half today simply because I don't want to make a huge batch of cookies because I will eat them all. So I want to make a smaller batch so that I can keep some for myself and give some away for presents. Okay, it shouldn't say presents, I should say a treat. In this large bowl, I'm going to add in my butter and my shortening. They're both at room temperature. I'm just going to give them a smoosh. I'm doing this just in a bowl with my spatula. I'm not bringing out my mixer today. I'm just going to do this by hand because it's so easy. And I'm going to add in my confectioner's sugar, and I'm going to work that in really, really well. That gives you the most incredible texture for your cookies. Totally essential for this type of cookie. That looks good. I'm adding in my egg. And then I'm just going to continue to mix this with my spatula until it's well combined. You could use a whisk if you want to, but I'm going to put some elbow grease into this and get it going with my spatula. Looks good. Adding in my dry ingredients, and I'm just going to fold these in just until everything is combined. I don't want to work this too much because I don't want to end up with a really tough cookie. I want to keep them really lovely and light and buttery and delicious. I'm just going to take, oops, I'm just going to mix that a little bit on the side. All right, I'm just going to take my cookie dough, put that into my little makeshift piping bag, which works really well. I haven't purchased piping bags in a long time simply because, well, I forgot. But I always have resealable little Ziploc bags or whatever you want to call them. So it works. Okay, kind of getting that dough all to one corner. Let's see. Yep. Move this around, and then you make little mounds like so. Now you'll do a much prettier job than I did, but let's face it, I don't have any patience, but these are going to look beautiful and taste wonderful. And now you can use any sprinkles your heart desires. I'm using the Italian confetti because it is an Italian butter cookie after all, and I did get these when I went to Italy last year, so you can use absolutely any sprinkles you want, or none at all. You don't have to add anything to these, but these, you know, very springy, perfect for Easter for kids. They taste amazing, so you can put these on your Easter table, and I guarantee you adults and kids will love them. And they're pretty adorable, aren't they? These are looking good. I'm gonna pop these into the oven that's been preheated at 375 between 9 and 11 minutes or until they're beautiful, lightly golden brown. Let them cool a bit and then you're ready to serve. That's it. But I promise you, it is the best butter cookie you'll ever put in your mouth. I'm gonna put my last earned dollar on that because they are a childhood favorite after all. So trust me when I tell you they're delicious. My cookies were in the oven for exactly 10 minutes, and if you do take your time and pipe them really pretty, that'll hold those shape a lot better, but I have no patience, and listen, you're lucky they look this cute. Anyways, they are fully cooled, so I can go and just pick them right up. Look at that. They're just beautiful. I'm going to go for this one right here. Let's cut into that. Lovely and crumbly. Let's give it a go. Okay, this is how I can describe these. I don't know the name, but work with me. Do you remember, I don't know if at your house, maybe my house when you were young, or even now, those cookies that came in a blue tin? There were tons of different flavors of cookies in there. Tell me you do. They're in a blue tin like this, like an aluminum tin. They come in a variety of different cookies, and one of the cookies is like an Italian butter cookie that looks kind of like this but prettier. That's what these taste like. This is like the most identical version of those cookies. Those were my favorite out of that pack, out of the combination of those cookies that came into the container. Please let me know if you know what I'm talking about and what the name of those cookie tins are, because I haven't been able to find them here in the States in years, and I would love to remember what they were called. But anyway, this is what these taste. That's what these taste like. So if you love those, then you'll absolutely love this recipe. It is right on up there with the best butter cookies I've ever eaten. And these are definitely those from my childhood that I absolutely love. I hope that you enjoyed spending time with me. LauraInthekitchen.com will have the recipe for you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.